Hello friends, welcome you all to my YouTube channel Trinity English Joseph. As a part of CBSE class 10th videos, now today we will be dealing with a poem called How to Tell Wild Animals. Here, how to tell means how to identify wild animals. Here, the main intention of the poetess Carolyn Wells is that she wanted to show how the animals are being identified. Here, six animals are being identified and then said in a humorous way. And now let us look at the details of this particular poem, How to Tell Wild Animals. It's a humorous poem and it describes funny, exaggerated ways to identify dangerous animals like lions, tigers, bears, leopards, crocodiles, and chameleons using witty descriptions and ironic advice. And the core idea is learning to recognize these beasts by their dangerous traits in a funny, memorable way. And what are the key animals and their identification which is mentioned in this particular poem? First one is Asian lion, a large tawny beast that roams as you are dying, that roars as you are dying. And the second one is Bengal tiger, Royal Bengal tiger, which is the national animal of India. A noble beast with black strips, yellow on yellow. So this is what we have to understand and identify. And friends, next one, a leopard, spots on its height. It leaps on you and keeps leaping even if you cry. It keeps on jumping at a very length, and then the moment, even if you cry, even if you try to escape, it does not leave you. So that is about leopard. And then next one is bear, gives you a very hard hug in your yard. One more caress means it's a bear. So if you just do not believe it, you give one more hug and you will know it's bear. So that's what it kills its prey. So that is what we have to understand here. And crocodile versus hyena. So here these two are in contrast. Hyenas smile merrily, but crocodiles weep while eating their prey. So this is what we have to basically understand. And the last one is chameleon. It's a small lizard-like one which has no ears, no wings, and it changes colors. So there's a specific feature called camouflage, and it changes colors according to the surroundings. So this is what we have to understand. And the last one is what is the rhyming scheme of this particular poem is. So that is AB, AB, and CC. And the remaining all details and further explanation you will be able to listen from the PowerPoint presentation. Friends, now let us look at the poem How to Tell Wild Animals by Carolyn Wells. And friends, if you just look at the analysis of the poem, you just see the different animals appearing here. And continuing with the present poem, it's about the poetess Carolyn Wells. Carolyn Wells was born on June 18th, 1862 in the United States. She was a prolific American writer, remembered largely for her popular mysteries, children's books, and humorous verse. Her light-hearted poetry writing was aimed primarily at children. She wrote for almost 40 years, and she was a frequent contributor of nonsense verse and whimsical pieces to such little magazines as The Lark, The Chapbook, and The Philistine. Her books included a nonsense anthology, The Book of Humorous Verse, The Book of Limericks, Horror House, Murder in the Bookshop, etc. This poem, How to Tell Wild Animals, is a humorous poem in which the poetess tells us how we may identify different wild animals. So, friends, so this is about the poetess. And coming to the introduction, this humorous poem suggests some dangerous ways to identify wild animals. The poetess has also explained the characteristics of various wild animals in a very funny way. She has used language in a way that it generates humor. She introduces the reader to various kinds of wild animals like the Asian lion, the Bengal tiger, bear, etc., explaining each of the animals in a very humorous way. She describes the hyena for its smiling face and the crocodile for its tears. Then the poetess describes how the chameleon changes its color. So this is all about the introduction of the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. And coming to this particular slide, so we have the entire poem at a glance, and we have stanzas 1 and 2, stanzas 3 and 4, and stanzas 5 and 6. And friends, if you just have a glance at it, you just understand what is the poem here, and then we will just continue in the following slides as to how we can just continue understanding it. And friends, here, this is about stanza 1. If you ever If ever you go, you should go by chance to jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you'll know it is the Asian lion. And here, the poetess is trying to explain about the Asiatic lion. And then the poetess says that if ever you should go by chance to jungles in the east. So here, so if at all if you have a chance to go to the east, and if there should you to advance a large and tawny beast. So if you just look at the poetess here cautions the readers against the wild beasts found in the jungle. She says, if by chance you reach the jungles in the east, you are likely to encounter a large and tawny beast approaching you, and if it roars loudly at you and you feel that you are going to die due to fear, then you can be sure that it is the Asian lion. So this is what the explanation that she gives to the Asian lion. And friends, coming to the second stanza, you can see the beast which is here. Or if sometime when roaming round, a noble wild beast greets you with black strips on a yellow ground, just notice if he eats you. This simple rule may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Friends, as you know, Royal Bengal tiger is the national animal of India. And if you just look or notice when you are roaming around, so here in this stanza, the poetess talks about uh, or tells us about how to identify a Royal Bengal tiger or a Bengal tiger. She says that if you are roaming around in the jungle and come across an animal with black and yellow strips, and the animal starts eating you, then this simple rule will teach you that it is a Bengal tiger. So here she tells how to identify the Royal Bengal tiger of India. And friends, if you come nearer, if strolling forth a beast you view, whose hide with the spots is peppered, as soon as he has leapt on you, you'll know it is the leopard. It will do no good to roar with pain. He'll only leap and leap again. Now here, if you just see the beauty of this particular stanza, he says that uh, the hide with the spots is peppered. So here it is peppered. Now whenever you just make something, then you just add a pepper or pepper powder on it. It looks very neat. So here like eatables, it has compared to the spots of the leopard, and this we also call it as a cheetah. Here, the poetess says that if you are casually walking in the forest and you come across an animal with black spots on its body, it's going to be a leopard. The animal is so fast that it will leap on you at once. By the time you realize that it is the leopard, it will leap on you. There is no escape from him even if you cry out in pain, because he will continue pouncing on you and start eating you before you understand that it is a leopard. So here he says, the poetess says, leap, leap again. So it only leap again. So it keeps on continuing, just jumping on the people, and however you cry with pain, it doesn't leave you until it kills you and complete eating. Friends, coming to stanza 4. If when you are walking around your ad, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard, be sure it is the bear. If you have any doubt, I guess he'll give you just one more caress. Now, friends, if you just come across, you can just see this animal. So, that is the bear. Anyone who does not know about this particular animal, bear, so if you want to know about it, how to identify, this is what the poetess says about. Carolyn Wells says that when you are walking around your ad, you meet a creature there who hugs you very, very hard. So, this is what she means. In this stanza, Carolyn Wells says that while you are walking around in your ad, you may meet a creature there. When this creature hugs you very tightly, then you can be sure that it is a bear. So, there are different kinds of animals who kill the people in a different way. So, here people generally compare this with a bear hug. Bear hug is the one when you hug someone very tightly, and that causes very inconvenience or the people it can also kill. So that is called as a bear's hug. And then if you have any doubt in your mind, then he will just give you another tight hug. This hug may seem friendly, but it can be fatal, which can also result in death. So this is what here about the fourth stanza. And friends, if you come here to the fifth stanza, though to distinguish beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus, the crocodile you always may tell from hyenas thus. Hyenas come with merry smiles, but if they weep, they are crocodiles. Now, here, friends, in the fifth stanza, the poetess says that sometimes it becomes quite difficult for a novice. Novice is a beginner, one who sees for the first time, to differentiate between the different wild animals. He may not be able to distinguish between a hyena and a crocodile. So the poetess helps to differentiate a crocodile from a hyena. She says that a hyena always laughs as it swallows its victim. A crocodile, on the other hand, it is said to shed tears while eating its prey. So here, hyenas laugh when they eat their prey, and the crocodiles they shed tears when they eat their prey. So this is what how to identify or distinguish between a hyena and a crocodile. And friends, coming to the stanza 6, the true chameleon is small, a lizard sort of thing. He hasn't any ears at all and not a single wing. If there is nothing on the tree, it's the chameleon you see. Now, here, as we know, because of a specific characteristic of a chameleon, it adjusts itself to the surroundings. So, now in this stanza, the poetess describes the chameleon. She says that a true chameleon is a small animal. It remembers or resembles a lizard. It doesn't have ears or wings. The poetess says that if you are not able to see anything on the tree, then chances are there that there is a chameleon is sitting there. The chameleon is a master of camouflage as it changes color as per its surroundings. Thus, it is difficult to spot it. This attribute helps it to escape from its enemies. So now this is what we would be just seeing that the animal chameleon escapes from its enemies with this specific characteristic. Friends, now if you just see, we just look at the poetic devices. And poetic devices are the literary techniques or devices used by the poets to create rhyme, enhance the meaning, or intensify a mood or feeling of the poem. They could be used to impact the structural, grammatical, rhythmic, metrical, verbal, and visual components of a poem. And friends, this is what we just see in this poem. And friends, if you just look at here, we have a alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. So this is what called alliteration. The same letter is repeated in the adjacent words. So here, if you just see the sweet song, then that is called as alliteration. And if you just continue So friends, if you just see, this is a the sweet song. And friends, continuing here, the stanza 2 we just have here, and the stanza 3 also you have such kind of things when in the stanza 4. And if you just see, you would just have a inversion, the reversal of the syntactically correct order of subject, verbs, and objects in a sentence. It is called as inversion. The ocean blue, to the store I will go. So this is what called inversion that we see. And then next, we just come to assonance. Assonance is a repetition of vowel sounds between syllables of nearby words. So this is called assonance. Poetry is old, ancient, goes back far. So this is called as assonance. And this is what we just see o mentioned here. And friends, if you just see enjambment, enjambment is the continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line, couplet, or a stanza. In simple words, when there is no punctuation at all, there are no punctuation marks at the end of the each line, that is called enjambment. It is a running on of a thought from one line to another without final punctuation. When raindrops are exposed to sunlight, even colorless become vibrant. So this is what called as a enjambment. And so this is what we just see where there is no punctuation at all at the end of the lines. Repetition. The repetition, okay, the same words or phrases, the repeating of the same words or phrases a few times to make an idea clearer and more memorable is also called as a repetition. And here you have got different words in the repetition. And friends, finally, let me say thank you for the gift and more thanks for the thought. The greatest thing I can thank you for is all the joy you have brought by just watching my videos and everything. And I also thank the poetess for giving us this beautiful poem in a humorous way. And friends, please like, share, subscribe to my channel to make some more videos and enrich you with this knowledge. Thank you all. See you in the next video.